You're listening to Sorry for Asking.
Sorry for asking. I'm Cole Connor.
And I'm Adam Ramzi. This is where we talk shop, ask questions,
Tell stories, and laugh some laughs about being creators.
as well as consumers of adult content we love watching too.
We certainly do. We also discuss the impact adult films have had on us
On our guests.
and on the LGBTQ community.
So strap on and strap in.
And here we go. Woo! Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back to Sorry for Asking.
I'm Cole Connor.
I'm Adam Ramzi. How's everybody doing?
You can't answer us.
I guess you can't. All right. Well, I'll answer. I'm good. By the time this show will be airing, it'll be July 4th week.
4th of July.
4th of July. I will have had my party by now. Hopefully it was great. We celebrated Cole's birthday.
Yay! Yeah, because I decided I'm
You're gonna
staying
be in town.
for
Amazing.
it.
We're gonna have such a good time.
Because you and I are having a little studio moment.
Also that.
Because we're booked.
We have tons to catch
booked-
up on.
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot to
know.
tell you guys.
We're
I'm
booked for
excited.
next door the day before my birthday.
Is it next door or is it disruptive?
I mean,
Are they
disruptive,
the
but it's
same?
part of ASG.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yes.
I mean, hopefully, I have a feeling they're going to give us like a big script.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun to do. I mean, you guys may remember we spoke about the fact that we were hired by Pantheon Productions to do a scene together, our first one-on-one scene ever. And how'd it go, Cole?
It went beautifully. I loved it. It was great. It was easy. We were just like on a couch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was nice to have all your attention.
Oh, it was nice to give you all my attention. I'll say that. And just to paint a picture for you guys, the scenario was that I was a doctor that was hired to come and check in on a face down, passed out Cole Connor.
Cole Connor, yeah.
I had to slap his face a little bit to wake him up. You were
A
hilarious.
rare occurrence.
Right, yes. Never happens. Never happens in real life. But you were hilarious. You were very funny. You were in character. And I was just a smooth talking doctor trying to get you to wake up.
Yeah,
and
it was like the thing was because I had to do it with I did 4 scenes that week.
You sure did.
Weekend.
Yes,
So,
this was like a
I think you were the
shoot
first
weekend.
one. And
Okay.
I did so like the same premise with Ryan Sebastian where I was like faking being sick. You know?
Wait,
It
really?
was
You guys
like-
did the same scenario?
It was kind of the same, yeah. Because
Oh,
it was
my
like that
goodness.
was part of it. It was like, oh, I do this all the time, and I just get get my roommate to call doctors over
Gotcha.
and get the doctors to fuck me.
Yeah, I had a really good time on that shoot. I know that some of the other scenes went a little longer but the ones that I shot went by real quick. We have a photo of that weekend we can throw up. Check that out. These beautiful men. We've got Roman Mercury, Ryan Sebastian, Lawson James, Emil Jameson, Brody Meyer, and the two of us, and our director Brian Davila. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, Roman Mercury. It was my first time working with him. What a firecracker of a human. He's almost like a cartoon.
he is.
I can't believe he's like a real
I
person.
know he's Brazilian. He's got a lot of energy.
A lot of energy. He's just very funny and not what you'd expect when you see his content.
Because he's like he plays it off like he comes off as like rough and like
Yeah.
intense.
I don't know.
in, like when he's having sex, but it's like I mean he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, no, he's kind of like swishy and adorable in person, and like he bottomed for me, which I was kind of I didn't even know he did that.
Yeah,
But
know.
whatever, went real quick, and our scene I thought was, I mean, we talk about this stuff. We've been doing this for almost 3 years now, this podcast, and I loved that. Really, all I felt during the scene with you, aside from how much fun it was to do, was. We are such professionals.
I know.
Like, honestly.
I know. I remember afterward, we banged it out in like an hour.
We did it quick,
Like,
y'all.
and
It was, we are good at our jobs. We are both camera aware. We know how to deliver. We know how to keep things going for the sake of the camera.
yeah, and
We know how to find our light.
But oh my gosh, who was filming it? Anthony Duran, and he's like, at the end, he's like, yeah, see, I'm really faster. And you were like, well, also we're professionals.
Yes. Also,
and when I said to you, I talked to you after away from him, and you were like, yeah, it seemed like he was kind of trying to toot his own horn. I'm like, we're the ones.
Yeah. Hello.
Made it fast.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
No, he was great. He was great. Anthony, thank you for your steady hand guiding that ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really fun. The rest of the weekend was fun. It was like a little paid vacation, it felt like, in Palm Springs.
Yeah. So I went after that.
Yeah.
I went down to Fort Lauderdale and shot some stuff for Say Uncle again. And the first day went really well. And then
you have a story.
And then the second day was like on the set was this wrestling ring. Oh my God. It was me as a wrestler and one of the younger guys as my stepson. And then and then Ty Roderick and his stepson. And we're like teams fighting each other in this wrestling rink, which was actually a wrestling rink in like a big warehouse that was actually used for amateur wrestling in Fort Lauderdale. It's scary.
On location. It was scary.
I mean, it was just like, well, it reached a few uncomfortable places. First of all, we got there and like the owner of Say Uncle was there too and was like putting his input and everything. And that's fine. The director was a woman and the AD was a woman, and I had worked with the AD the day before, and she was great. I went in having high hopes for the second day.
Okay.
And it's never a good sign when when they want you to do your trimix shot right away.
Oh, why is that?
Because you don't know how long it's gonna be.
Oh, I see.
So I mean, I just was kind of like, oh, so, I mean, we're gonna do all the sex first, and then do all the. That's what I was like. Okay, then I guess it's okay if we're gonna do all the sex first, and then, but then it didn't pan out that way. It felt like it was not. It was poorly planned, the timing of it. Okay, and so then at one point and it was really two scenes. There was first, it was all four of us gang banging the referee, which and he was struggling to bottom. He told me the night before that he hadn't bottomed in 3 months. I'm like, great.
Yeah, you're taking 3 dicks tomorrow?
4.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, well, that might be a hiccup. So that took a little longer than it should have. Then we still kind of had a lot with just the 4 of us to do, and I knew this, and I'm like, I mean, it had already been a couple hours, and was like, it sounds like we still have a lot to do, so let's keep it moving. Yeah. And at one point we're all like 69ing in the middle of the ring, and I hear everything get quiet. All the other, I'm the last person to notice there's somebody walking around in
someone not in production.
Yeah.
Okay.
There, I'm seeing 1 or 2 people walk around. I'm like, what is going on? Who is in here? I'm like, and
who was it?
It was guys that wrestle there that were coming to pick something up, left something there, and they were looking for it. They didn't know where it was.
So it was distracting.
Yeah, and uncomfortable. I don't know who these people are. We're sitting there with our dicks out in a fucking wrestling ring in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know what.
Where are the production coordinators when you need them? So
that happened, and that really that put me in a bad mood.
So how long was the shoot that day?
It was probably 8 hours.
That's pretty long.
Yeah.
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 They I mean, I don't want to call anybody out here, but technically they're not supposed to be telling you when to do anything in terms of erectile medication.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just
they were just saying we need boners soon, so get them ready.
Yeah, I guess, and I don't think everybody was gonna do it, but then as it went on, I'm giving stuff to the other guys, and I don't know. It just was it reached a point where I was like, I had to say, I was like, well, it's unsafe for this to be lasting longer than like 5 hours. So we need to get done. We need to be done with the sex soon.
And you had to do more than one shot?
More than one? Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, tell me the story. Like,
I mean, it just seemed like it just dragged on, and it just kind of like, I don't know what else to say. Like with the people came back too. Like after they left, then we got back into it, and then like 45 minutes later, they're walking around in the fucking warehouse again.
As I've mentioned before,
what is happening?
I do love it when you Karen out a little bit. Did that happen?
Yes.
Tell me what that was like.
No, I just said I was like, yeah, we're reaching a point where I can we shouldn't have boners this long.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, it's not good. It should not be happening that way. That reminds me of like that Tommy Defendi scene I did for Hot House years ago, where they told him that he should shoot up if he was going to, and then they just like literally had him off camera for an hour. And that's you guys know how big that tool is. I mean, that takes a lot of blood flow to get that thing moving. And it was a nightmare. I was like on camera getting photos taken, and I would look over and he's just sitting there like with this throbbing dick. Like, you poor thing.
I know.
So how was the rest of the shoot?
Well, I mean, that was the last day. I mean, we left in good spirits and whatever, and it was fine. I think they did kind of pick it up after I was like, we got to go. Was
anyone on that shoot people you had worked with before?
No.
Okay, so that makes it a little uncomfortable too. It's not people you have a rapport with. What was it like working with Ty Roderick? I have such a crush on him, and I hate it. But.
I loved it. It was great. We did a scene the day before, just a duo,
and that went well.
Okay, that was us in like a holding cell.
Okay, of course.
I know. Yes. Which also I just did for men.com. Yeah, they like to put me in prison cells.
Okay, yes.
Well, I guess that's where I belong.
Have you had any other shoots?
Yes.
Talk about it. Tell us some stories.
Okay, Film 911. Film 911. It shoots in Anaheim. This guy, his name is Jason. So he hired me and Brody Meyer. Mm-hmm. And we have these, and he announced that we were shooting for him. And I guess fans send in scenarios and write scripts for it. So he got one that was like a hypnosis script where he has like a red curtain behind it. It's like he said it's Brody's birthday, and he's a hypnotist that's been like hired for like entertainment for his birthday party. So he calls us up and like hypnotizes us, and we're like, it's not gonna work, blah blah blah. and so it keeps cutting into the few, like we don't know that we're hypnotized, and we keep like snapping out of it when we're like making out and we're naked and like licking whipped cream off of each other. Like, it's very silly. The other scenario was that it starts with me like breeding him, and then he gets pregnant, and it's like a male pregnancy. He ends delivering the baby.
Hold we have on. A picture. Are you kidding me? What? No. Oh my God. If you guys are listening and not watching, I am literally looking at a picture of, it's like a selfie in the mirror that Cole is taking, and Brody Meyer has a pregnancy belly under his shirt. That is, so this is weird. I actually was just alerted to this recently, that this is like a trend lately. It's called MPreg.
MPreg.
Male pregnancy.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
It's so stupid. I just thought it was fun because we were like, he after the breeding part, he's like, we're in bed, and it's like supposed to be later, and he's like getting off the phone with the doctor. He's like, oh, we're pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, we're going to be fathers. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I love you so much.
And like totally sincerely, like all in earnest.
And like, I'm pulling up pants for him, and like all these, it's like a montage of like all these cutesy things that like you would do with your pregnant partner.
Whoa.
And that's really it. And he delivers the baby, and we're like, I want another one.
Get the fuck. Wait, which studio did this?
Film 911.
I haven't heard of them. I mean, like,
check it out. I posted I think I posted the previews on my Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, but we talk about breeding all the time. I guess sometimes the fruits of our labor come through in different ways. I mean, the thing is, like, there are some guys, obviously everybody talks differently when they engage in, dirty, sexy talk. And I've had guys definitely, the word breeding has been around in our community a long time. I hear I want to get you pregnant. I want to knock you up, or I want you to knock me up. I had one guy who would love to say that he wants to get his DNA all up in me.
Oh.
And, again, I'm going to say this is all hot to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about a pregnancy tummy and like being excited about having a baby.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that, I mean, like, it doesn't have to turn us on. It's for someone else.
I mean, and this is actually segueing into a little bit of what I want to talk about today is these kind of taboo scenarios that have been, I guess, really popular lately. First of all, have you been paying attention to the men.com scandal of the week?
No, because I just shot with them yesterday and the day before.
How was it?
Great. I shot 2 scenes.
What did you shoot?
I shot one with Joel Hart. I gave you a picture.
Let's see.
Very sexy British tattoo
Oh, yeah.
guy.
I've seen pictures of him.
And he went to town on me. Like,
Ooh.
That was also in a jail cell.
Oh, my God.
And 'cause I was the guard.
You were the guard this time.
Yeah, I like wheeled him in, all strapped up and stuff. And
I was
like, if I suck your dick, will you shut the fuck up?
You said that?
Yeah. Will you chill the fuck out?
Did you get penetrated with a baton?
No.
I'm shocked.
No.
I'm shocked
they
and
tried to do
appalled.
that to me in Ride or Die, and I was like not having it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's such a thing. It's been done. It's been done. I just wanted to ask if like we were really leaning into certain porn conventions with the guard having sex with the inmate thing.
Yeah.
No, not this time.
Well, no. I mean, I loved that scene. Was great. I actually, Joel and I went for a drink afterwards, and then I drove him to the airport. But while we were like sitting
That's
at the bar,
sweet.
yeah, so we were sitting at the bar, and I was like, that was like the most fun I've had on a shoot, like in a minute.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What was so fun about it?
It's just, I mean, like it felt easy, but it was like, it was really rough and like,
okay,
like
let me
hard.
rephrase the question for you, Cole Connor. Was the sex good? Was he nice? Did you guys connect as people? Did you?
Yeah, I guess so. I think I was nervous about, I think I'd met him at the AVN's or Gavian's, not this January, but the one before.
Uh-huh.
And he was with his boyfriend. He just kind of like seemed very like I don't care.
Okay.
Very
yeah.
like
he kind of looks like that kind of guy.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if we're gonna. I don't really know. I didn't really know if we were gonna connect at all, or if he was gonna be that nice or whatever. And he was lovely. I just was
Nice.
like, we just we hit it off and we had a good time. I enjoyed it. I was like, I don't let people fuck me that roughly. Usually.
How's his wiener?
Great. Great. Felt great.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
And the second one I shot with Trevor Brooks,
I don't know.
who I forgot to get a picture with him, but
Okay, that's okay. Cool.
But that was really good too.
Nice.
But also another one that I was like nervous about the chemistry because I've met him before and also wasn't sure if they're interested at all.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these
when
guys
people
have
are kind of aloof.
game faces, I guess. Yeah. I was thinking about, I actually because I haven't been shooting as much. I actually have a little list of boys I want to shoot with. I'm like trying to be much more proactive now that
Are
I'm
you gonna
staying.
name them? Name them.
You want me to name them?
Name them.
Oh my, I don't know. Well, I'm
That's my
shooting today
son.
with Jameson Taylor, who's like new on the scene. He's a friend. But I have like down here, I've been speaking with someone named Allerton Thin Brody Meyer, obviously, and we've talked about, possibly shooting, but
you haven't yet?
No, I mean, he's so funny. I'm so sorry. Like, we had such a good time. It was really fun. It was like me, you, Brody, and Emil Jameson in that Palm Springs house.
I cooked us dinner.
He cooked us. We had such a cute, like, little 4-person, like, hang.
This is on the Pantheon.
At the Pantheon shoot in Palm Springs, we just showed you a picture of. And Brody is also kind of a cartoon character. Like, he's just this like goofy goof.
Yeah.
And
he can kind of Karen out a little bit too.
Well, I can see that for sure. But like the thing that I thought was so funny was that he's just like, he is busy. He is shooting all the time. He's either modeling or he's shooting content or he's being flown to this studio shoot or he's going to this studio's party. And I kind of was like, girl, like, you don't have to say yes to everything. If you burn too brightly when your star's on the rise, you're gonna burn out before it gets too high.
Yeah, I mean, I've told him I'm like if you feel too busy, the first thing I'd cut is the go-go dancing.
Sure, yeah, and he I've tried to hire him for gym class a few times, and he's always like, oh, sorry, I actually have something that night with whatever. Gold Guido and I've spoken. Sir Jet, Bradley King. This guy, Simon, he goes, it's Simon.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, I just shot with him.
How is that?
Good.
We've met before. Yeah, me too.
I've known him a
He's
while.
sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet little otter.
Yeah.
Ace Newberry, Drew Ryan, River, Johnny Cakes from the Go-Go Show.
I think with him recently.
Oh yeah, how was that? We might shoot on Friday.
Yeah, I met him in Palm Springs during COVID.
He's so hot. Jesus.
It's insane.
Cole McKenna and this guy Justin, who I don't know what he goes by. Oh, Barefoot Otter.
Yep.
See, like half the people I've met are people I've named are people I've met before, which I kind of prefer. I prefer shooting with people I've met already. But I was also speaking with Thomas Long, who's going to be here in a couple weeks. I know you shot with him.
Yeah, we did the Park City.
Yes, the famous gondola video, the gondola blowjob,
the gondola cum shot.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely looking for collaborators. Let's be in touch." And then I kind of thought to myself, I was like, "Oh, you know what's weird? I actually, because I haven't been shooting as much lately, I haven't shot with anyone with like a huge dick in quite a while." Wow. And I like I'm like, oh gosh, I kind of have forgotten what it's like to like have to do that on camera, because there's some warming up that is required when you've got a big member.
Yeah, but I mean, you just put it in before
the cameras roll.
You just warm up and let them go easy on you first, so like maybe they can just kind of slide.
Do you okay?
I want it to, but I still want the first penetration in a studio shoot to look like it didn't just fall into me.
Yes. Well, that's something you have to either act out or you got to plan for.
Well, it never does. I mean, because
you practice.
But I mean, it never just falls into my butthole. It's like I'm tight. I promise.
Okay. I mean, you can believe that, audience, if you want. I've been there. It's lovely. You have lovely parts. But for me, we're going on so many tangents right now. I don't care though.
It's okay. I'm very scattered. I'm like, I've been to San Diego 3 times this week, like just back and forth, and I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
I'm as an elder gentleman these days who is still sexually very active. I think it's funny that there's still kind of that when you're about to take it in the butt, sometimes there's still that first entry where like if it just goes a little too fast, you have to be like, oh, okay, wait, take it out.
Yeah, and you like seize up. You're like,
okay, hold on,
like
it's almost gone. It's almost gone.
You gotta wait for it to chill out.
In my 20s,
it's like a spasm in your.
I think in my 20s it happened every time.
Every time
I had receptive anal intercourse.
It definitely happened to me more often, like in the past.
Yeah,
because I guess I just know. I don't know. I guess I just know at what speed to let it in. And
experienced bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I am I mean, porn made me a better bottom for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that? I have an answer for this, but do you think that it's harder to top or bottom in a studio scene?
Oh,
Like at the end of the day, which one are you more tired from?
Which one am I more tired from? Probably topping, only because you have to do so much more of the movement. But it also depends on the studio. You know, I the first 2 years I was only with Raging Stallion, and then the following few years I was with Naked Sword and Titan. Raging Stallion really likes having you in positions that are like not normal.
Yeah.
You know, so you're literally kind of like balancing on your wrist and your feet are doing this thing and you're like bouncing while twisting to camera. Yeah. Dick's got to be hard. Yeah. You know, these are things that I don't know that I could quite pull off these days. So now as I'm older, I think I'm cast as a top much more often because of the way I look. And you know, Bimix makes everything possible. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's much easier. It was a lot more difficult when, you know, you were doing these topping scenes without the help of something like Bimix, which I did for years. I worked without Bimix.
Woof.
And it's like, it can be really difficult to keep, especially when condoms are involved. And those first few years were all condoms. So man, it was like,
that shit must have taken a while.
Sometimes they did, for sure.
No, I was thinking about it because
what's your answer?
I mean, clean, like the prep for bottoming, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's easier.
Yeah.
It happened to be pretty easy for me with the scene with Joel. And I just remember like we were both, because it was very intense and like rough. And I just remember he was dripping in sweat and like, I was too, but I wasn't like out of breath like he was because he was topping and I just had to take it. But I was like, it was hard to like take it that fast and like that hard. Yeah. You know?
Right. but you made it work.
But at the end of the day, I feel I do think topping is harder.
Yeah. Do you know if I think they said I'm likely going to be the top in our disruptive scene. Do you know if
They didn't tell me. I have one the day after.
Okay.
And I think he's the bottom, so I might top in that one.
Gotcha. See? So they just want to watch me fuck you, Cole.
Hey. I'm here for it.
So going back to before we went on these tangents, we were talking about these taboo scenarios that are becoming like increasingly popular. So the men.com one right now, Mpreg, yes, we talked about that. Men.com released something this week featuring a multitude of white/white-ish models acting in a desert in turbans. And so obviously the timing is
perfect.
A little bit tone deaf, and so it's sparking a little bit of outrage. Austin Wolf, who is one of the featured performers, clapped back at Chirac, who of course, you know, Chirac is not going to keep his mouth shut about something like this, and said, no, you're wrong. This is supposed to be Mad Max. Mad Max inspired. But then you kind of look at the photos and they're literally all wearing Lawrence of Arabia, like, like, I don't think turban is the right word, but it's kind of like the head wrap that is like almost plaid looking, like, but with like a band around it. I'm sure some of the characters in Aladdin could be seen wearing such a thing. I don't know the term for it, but it didn't look right.
Okay.
What do you think? Like, in a case like this, what should men.com do? Should there be a disclaimer? Should they have pulled it? Are people just too sensitive?
Is it that?
That thing, yes. What do we call that?
Sorry,
it's okay, it just says
Arab
headscarf. Keffiyeh. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yes. Sure. White men wearing these.
I mean, yeah, why? That's just poor costuming.
If
it's Mad Max, it should be not that.
It was not that. It was not Mad. Nice try, Austin. I don't know. I think,
but it also probably wasn't like something Austin was like, oh no, I can't wear that. Or I don't like. It probably wasn't like.
I mean, when you're a performer in these studio scenes, you can't really say much. You're there for a paycheck. You know what I mean? If costuming, if they bring you something
it's
and
not
say
like they're
wear
asking
this,
you to pretend, like to do like.
And I also I'll say this too. I don't know what the premise of the movie was either. I don't know that it was like. I guess I could have.
Which I think is also something like until it's released, nobody knows what it actually is. So like to take something out of context from a picture is like kind of
well, I mean, there are videos going around. The thing is, it just released this week. They probably shot it a year ago, you know what I mean, before the escalation of the conflict in Israel and Palestine really went crazy these past 6 months. But I feel like they could have sat on it a little bit before they released it. Maybe like not right now when it's like the height of this
I don't know. I mean,
conversation.
everything has, then they have to push things up. And I mean, you have got to, it's a pain in the ass to move around release schedules and stuff, but I mean, it's doable.
The other one that I wanted to bring up, and this ties in with everything too. There's a performer, I'm not going to name him, but he's got a huge following, and he released, let me paint the picture for you guys. It's a short video teasing an OnlyFans release that he was about to put out, where the caption of it was "fucked my son before I took him to school."
I saw this,
and it's literally him waking up this very, very young looking boy who is sleeping in a bed with dinosaur sheets, holding a stuffed animal. It's him waking him up.
The
model is of age, but he doesn't look it.
He looks young.
He's very young.
Late bloomer.
And then like the dude wakes him up, and then it cuts to him fucking him like while he's holding the stuffed animal, and like that's it. It's a 12-second teaser of a video. And he took a lot of fire.
Yeah.
How do you think his response was?
I saw like a response to his response from someone.
Was it me?
No.
Okay. Because I did say something.
I don't know. This is like a thing that like, you know, in straight porn, they put girls in pigtails and have lollipops and like little and stuffed animals and do all that shit too. Like it's that part of me is like, it's gross. It's not for me. Like it's not something that we should be putting out there like on a large scale. Neither is impreg. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
but your impreg video sounds like a joke. It's like a fantasy. It's like kind of a jokey fantasy that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This, in my opinion, takes it too far, where you cross over the taboo line and into something totally inappropriate, because first of all, the caption alone is very clear.
Son.
It says son. It doesn't say my little brother, or it doesn't say even, you know, that's a little weird too. I mean, the kid, he looked so young.
Yeah.
Dinosaur sheets and stuffed animal. And then he put out this 5-minute video, and this is somebody with like hundreds of thousands of followers, which I'm starting to realize a lot of these guys like end up passing a threshold where they become super out of touch and not realizing what they put out there can affect people. He put out a 5.5-minute video where he was like, basically like, sorry you're offended, but I've seen so much worse out there. Why don't you go after this person? Why? There was not a single apology. He basically told everyone to fuck themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. Do you think it would have helped? Do you think it would have helped him out to be like, you know what? I'm taking it down. Sorry. I see that it offended people. I see what was wrong about it.
If he
acknowledged, like, do you think people would shut up? Do you think people would like accept that?
Yes.
I don't. I think people would still go off.
The thing is, in this era, people forget things pretty quickly, in my opinion.
Well,
they're going to go off. They move on to something else. But he doubled down and like defended what he did.
Yeah.
To me, that is showing that you are ignorant.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you're not listening.
And have no desire to listen. Like,
which is like a narcissistic thing to do.
For sure. the fact is, he was making up, and you know, he kept saying, he was saying things like, you know, it's a fantasy, it's porn, none of it's real.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only 5 years older than that guy, and these are all things that may be true, but like, no, y'all, don't do that. Don't do that.
Just think before you
think
post.
a little bit before you post, performers. I get we're trying to make fantasy, and Taboo's kind of in right now. And I would love to hear feedback from people. If you guys saw this and thought it was okay, I mean, clearly, like the last time we had an episode, just the two of us, we were talking about, you know, the
Czech hunters,
the Czech straight boy hunters, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, and I keep seeing more of that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, when does it get not taboo? When does it get? Because I already like roll my eyes.
But this is what I'm kind of curious about, is like, if we're just kind of in this age now where taboo is like weirdly popular, and the comparison I'm going to make it to is Gooning. Like, what do you have we talked about Gooning? I feel like it's come up a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like the most searched word in porn is incest, and that's not okay either.
Gotcha.
But people are searching for it. Right. And so people are going to make what people are searching for. Yeah. Because then they're going to get hits.
Well, the way around it that all these studios have done is always like stepdad, stepson, stepbrother. Like, that's the way to do it in a way that's not going to get a real slap on the wrist like this guy got.
Yeah.
But Gooning, to me, for example, is like, it's so weird that it like almost comes back around to like where I have seen some Gooning videos that are, I'm like weirded out but turned on at the same time. Some guys do it better than others. Some guys look goofy as fuck when they're like, do you want to give me a Gooning face?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Oh, okay.
No. How about you do one?
No, I'm not going to do it if you're not going to do it.
Well, shit. I'll do one if you do one.
We could do it together. Ready?
I don't want.
Yeah. Oh, you see. I see what you went that route. Yeah. I went the like tongue out, cross-eyed route. Like, some guys get really like tongue wagging around. Like, I don't know.
If I'm focusing that much on what my face is doing,
so that's a good point, because essentially we're just seeing a performance.
Yeah.
I prefer, if I'm going to look at a guy doing a Gooning video, what I want to see is somebody who is so lost in the pleasure of the moment that he's like almost.
I get like eyes rolling back.
Yeah,
like
that's
mouth
hot. Mouth open.
Maybe a little drool.
I actually find drool sometimes kind of very sexy. Like, I remember flipping through the channels when I was a kid, like when I had that stolen cable box, and there was this one video. It was a straight video. Hot dude, hot girl. And he was fucking her so hard, and the entire time there was like a string of drool coming down his mouth, like for like minutes of the scene. It was just always there, and more was coming out. And I have not been able to find it. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, I hate
when you can't find a scene that you know
exists,
and you like, I know it.
I don't know. I feel like I searched it a couple times in the past where I was like, drooling porn, but that's not enough.
Oh my god,
drooling. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try that.
It's a good day when you find one though that you're looking for.
Oh, I made my pee video. I told you I was gonna make
your pee video.
Yeah, we started. The guy I've been hanging out with. We made our first. Haven't put it out there in the world yet.
I have a title for you.
What is it?
You're in luck.
Wow. I heard a joke recently where if you're Asian in the kitchen and you're American in the living room, what are you in the bathroom?
I don't want to say something racist.
Please don't. European.
It sounds like you're setting me up.
The answer is European.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Way to shit all over my punchline. Jesus Christ. The answer should have been, I don't know what. That's how you answer a joke, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Like, who's there?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, what else? Where else are we? How else?
What else?
What? I feel like you had a list of things.
I had a collab that I was excited about because I'd been seeing this guy Prince of Edging.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So he lives in New York. And I came across his page and I was looking at it. It's all like very hot. He's just like big cum shots from these guys that he edges. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're blindfolded. Sometimes like they're always like oiled up and sexy looking.
Right.
And he gets these like huge loads out of these guys. So I messaged him and he was like, "Oh, I'm actually going to be in LA." I scheduled something with him on he's like, "Oh, I have Sunday morning at like 9:30." I was like,
"Oh, geez."
Oh, I'm like, okay, I guess
booked and blessed.
But he's like, "Don't come for 3 days.
Yeah,
no alcohol for 24 hours."
Okay.
And I was like, so I mean, come Friday, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it without coming. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
And so I'm texting him. I got him to move it up to Saturday at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And but it still was 3 days that I hadn't come. But yeah, he got like a good
big load.
Good load out of me.
Was it fun?
It was really fun. We talked. He's a sweet guy, and I was looking forward to it for like a week, and I hadn't been that excited about
nice
a collab.
Yeah, I was approached by the Edger 8. And he wants to shoot with me, and the thing is, I don't know that I'm like really big into edging. So I feel like I'm gonna respond because he's been like, I told him I'd be down, but he was like, okay, let's schedule something. Like, and he circled back, like, what do you think? I'm terrible at this. I've learned that scheduling is not my strong suit in this department. But I have still not regained sensitivity in my nipples. I'm healing fine since the surgery. Everything is much better. I'm a little bummed. Yeah. I'm still having sex. And I'm having good sex. And I'm, able to finish. I just really miss that. And I feel like if I'm going to do an edging video, I want to come back. I want to wait until at least we get some of it back.
Well, with this one, my hands were back here.
Yeah, I think both of them, they tie
I wasn't tied, but I was holding on to
okay.
I did, yeah.
Did he stimulate like in your beehole?
Yeah, I had him do that.
You like that?
Yeah.
And it helps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about this if it's something I really want to do. I'll get back to you on that.
It was fun. I mean, it's easy. I mean, it's a nice, easy collab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Well, hopefully the next time we do a show, just you and me, I'll have many scenes to report on. I want to get through this whole list and maybe even add to it. Because, I want it to be a sexy summer.
Well, we're off to a good start.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like we should wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds good. This was really fun.
Yeah.
It was nice catching up.
Happy 4th of July,
Happy
everyone.
4th of July, everyone. Be safe out there. Don't light a sparkler in your eyeballs.
Blow up your hands.
Yep. Drive safe and have an amazing weekend. I'm Adam Ramzi.
I'm Cole Connor.
And this has been Sorry for Asking.
This has been Sorry for Asking. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, stay sexy.